That's why there are some best practices to follow in the coding. And these best practices are called design patterns. Design patterns are set of rules. What guys? Set of rules that are required to follow. What guys? Design patterns are set of rules that are required to follow in the application development as best solutions for reoccurring problems. Certain problem is coming again and again, guys. I have given solution and that is completely solving the problem. So that is called design pattern or not, guys. Sir, if I write the code without using design pattern, what happens? You may get output, you may get task completion, but in long run, towards changing code, you may get problem. Towards memory consumption, you may get the problem. Towards performance, you may get the problem. Or while adding new code, while modifying existing code, you may get the problem. So if you follow design pattern, this is because they are the best solutions, right? So they try to avoid short-term problem, long-term problem. Overall, your code looks best code. Performance-wise, your code looks best. Memory consumption-wise, your code looks best. And understanding-wise, your code looks best. That's why don't just write the code. Try to write the code with design patterns. For example, you are feeling hungry. For that one, you have to feed the food to your stomach. Ultimately, stomach is required. To feed the food to stomach, there are many ways. Open the stomach through surgery and keep the food. Option number one, right? Keep the saline bottle to your body. Option number two. Yes or no? Na? And keep one pipe kind of thing through your throat and pour the food, liquid food. But all these are best practices, sir. But still stomach is full or not? What's the best practice? Take the food with hand, not with spoon, hand. Mix it properly. Keep in the mouth properly. Chew it properly. Swallow it slowly. And it will reach to the stomach nicely. Is it not called best practice? So there are so many ways of filling the stomach. But whatever I said at the last, that is the best practice or not? Same thing, boss. Same thing. Whenever you are writing a code, always keep 360 angle of that 360 angle problems and solution while writing the code. And that is possible when you apply design pattern. But let me say one thing. Design pattern is not a subject or software to install, guys. Or it is not a framework or technology to learn. In 1970s, one person is there, Alexander Christopher. He has noticed so many problems that are there in civil industry, civil engineering industry, towards constructions, dams constructions, houses construction. And he released one book, Best Practices of Civil Engineering. In 1990s, four people, gang of four, we call them as gang of four. They inspired from that book. That book is nice towards the civil engineering industry. Why can't we do same thing in what? Software industry. At that time, object-oriented programming was doing well. And they released 100 best solutions, nothing but 100 design patterns related to object-oriented programming. Not specific to Java, not specific to C++. Any object-oriented programming, these best practices can be applied. These 100 solutions, nothing but 100 design pattern, looking good, but one solution is colliding with another solution. After a lot of brainstorming and ratification, they reduced those design patterns to what? 23 numbers. How many, guys? So, see how many people together they given those design pattern? Okay, they are called gang of four design patterns. What means? Till today also in object-oriented programming, basic object-oriented programming, basic standalone application development by using what? OOP language. They are considered as the best design patterns. They are considered as the best design pattern. Is that clear, my dear? I want reply, boss. Is that clear, my dear? I want reply. They are considered as the best design pattern. Okay, now listen carefully. But they are targeting only standalone applications, simple applications only. But Java means only simple applications. Java means distributed application, web application, enterprise application, including standalone applications, right, guys? By seeing this Ganga 423 design pattern, the Sun Microsystem got inspiration. Ganga 423 design pattern basically addressing problems related to standalone application development. But using Java, we can also develop what? Web application, which are layered applications. Layers will be there. Multiple logics will be kept in multiple classes and they will be used together, right, guys? Okay. Addressing the problems and giving solutions related to layered application development by using JEE technologies. Java JEE technologies. They have released another 25 plus JEE patterns. What patterns, guys? And same patterns we also try to use in frameworks development. Are you getting my point there? But right now, one more architecture has come to develop the web application, microservices. Related to microservice architecture, some problems are there. Addressing those problems, there are also 10 to 12 plus design patterns have come. They are called microservice architecture design pattern. So as on today in Java environment, how many categories of design patterns are there? 3 are there. Ganga 4 pattern for standalone application. JEE patterns for Java based web applications and distributed application, layered application. And microservice architecture pattern for microservice architecture based application development. So final conclusion is what? Seniors, super seniors and faced the problems, analyzed the problem, given the solutions. In that, best solutions are marketed and released to the market as design patterns. Design pattern. For standalone application, Ganga 4 design patterns are the best and they are popular. For layered application, JEE framework based application, JEE patterns are the best. In microservice architecture, microservice patterns are the best. It's all about passing the knowledge generation to generation. Yes or no? Na? Because our ancestors also done some practices for cooking, for arranging food, preserving the food. They are passed generation to generation in a cascading manner, right, guys? And some of them are continuing because they are still good. Some of them we stopped using because of current technology, some alternates have come. Because long back, ancestors used to dry all vegetables. Used to dry in all vegetable by exposing to sun. So they used to remove water content from the vegetables. Why? Because in those days, vegetables used to come only in particular season. Because every vegetable is season vegetable. Right? That's why in one season when vegetables are more, they used to dry completely, dry under the sun, and so that they can use for next throughout the year whenever they want to eat that vegetable. That's a preserving technique. But are we following that technique today? Why? We got a technology called refrigerator. Yes or no? Na? In a way it's good, in a way it's bad. In a way it's good, you can eat the food without losing its originality for up to some period, right? It's bad, it's making people lazy. Yes or no? Na? And the most funny part, we go to vegetable market saying that fresh vegetable, and we bring them and keep in refrigerator and we eat after 10 days. While purchasing fresh vegetable, but while keeping in the fridge, no one thinks about fresh vegetable, right? But no one will dare to purchase bit old vegetable while purchasing. They want fresh, directly from farm only they want. But while keeping and using in refrigerator, no one thinks about what? Fresh. So that is the lifestyle that we are opting today nowadays, right? Okay, boss. So I think you got the basic idea, guys. Okay, I'll take one software problem now, guys. I have a class, no member variables are there in that class, only methods are there. Member variables are not there means whenever I create the object, can I say there is no state in that object? Yes or no? Na? For that class, I am creating 200 objects. I am using them. My question is, when there is no data in the object, you create one object, you create 200 objects. Is there any meaning in that? All are identical objects. That to no data, waste of memory. In Java, object creation is a costly affair or simple affair? Costly affair. Memory wise, CPU time wise, performance wise is a costly affair. You should reduce object creation in Java. But you are unnecessarily allowing 200 objects for the class in which state is not there. Yes or no? Na? Instead of that, you make that class as a singleton Java class. What class, guys? Singleton scope is different, singleton Java class is different. The class that allows only one object maximum is called. The class that allows only one object maximum is called singleton class. Is that clear, my dear? Come on. The class that allows only one object maximum is called singleton Java class. So when I have singleton class, how many objects it allows us to create? One. If I try to create second object, does it allows? It returns existing object reference. That means same object comes again and again. So then what happens, guys? One object I'm going to use 200 times. Creating 200 object to use for 200 times is good. Creating one object using for 200 times is good. That means singleton class is a design pattern solving the memory creation issues, object creation issues, memory consumption issues. Like this, so many design patterns are there. Singleton Java class is one simple name I am taking. Full and final conclusion is, if I use language technology framework as it is, I may complete the coding, I may complete the application, I may get the output, but that is not going to the best. I may get flexibility problem to add or remove the code in future. I may get memory issues, I may get performance issues, I may get CPU time issues. If I develop the same application by adding design pattern support, I will be taking best way of writing the code or not. And maximum problems can be reduced or not, guys. I'll tell one small example, real life example. I'm feeling feverish as an Indian. Whenever we feel feverish, what we do? We go to medical shop, not to the doctor. Yes or no? Na? We ask medical shop fellow, give me medicine for feeling feverish, right? We consume it, we don't get relaxation. As we are suffering more and more, family members, friends start scolding you. Worst fellow, you are becoming like this, go to doctor. We don't go alone, doctor, right? Okay, so we have gone to the doctor. Nowadays, doctors are very crazy people. They are not touching the human body. Before Corona also, after Corona, no one is touching. That's a different story. Before Corona also, they stopped touching. They will write 10 tests. Okay. In one test, they will find, oh, this is the problem. Okay. Then they will write the medicine. But along with the medicine, they write some antibiotics. And we consume that medicine and antibiotics, we get the relaxation. And we say, doctor is great because in one visit, he cleared my problem. But if you observe very carefully, doctor also written the same medicine that medical shop person given. But when medical shop person medicine is taken as it is, not worked out. But when you take the same medicine with antibiotics, it worked out. Very simple reason was, okay, when you are feeling feverish, your body immunity power is down, gone down. Immunity power gone down. That's why medicine is not working on your body. To strengthen immunity power, the doctor has given what? Antibiotics plus medicine. Because of that, immunity power is increased and medicine started working. Yes or no? Na? That's why you got the relief from the problem. So that means when you use a technology framework language as it is in application development, it may work out, it may not work out. If worked out also, side effects may come. If you use technology along with the design pattern, language along with the design pattern, framework along with the design pattern, as you are using medicine with antibiotics, what guys? As you are using medicine with antibiotics, are you getting my point there, guys? As you are using medicine with what? Antibiotics. So definitely, okay, you will get the best output in the application development or not. So here medicine is like our technology, language and framework. Antibiotics are like design pattern. So design pattern looks like optional, but they are very important in a better application development by using languages, technologies and framework effectively. What guys? I hope you understood the importance of the design patterns, guys. Super. Okay. Today onwards, I'm changing my model of teaching little bit because I have this much syllabus, guys, and I want to give best subject in less time. Okay. Anyhow, you are now old student. That newness gone because you also completed 1-2 application. I also completed 1 or 2 weeks with you people. Okay. This Saturday, Sunday holiday, no classes because of occasion of Ganesh festival. But next Saturday, Sunday onwards, we will be having sessions on Sundays. And sometimes I will be using previous batch notes. I will add only additional points. Only to save the time. That notes also prepared by me for different other batches. Okay. So wherever possible, I will use it. Wherever not possible, I will create the new thing. Because I want to utilize time effectively, nothing else. Because I noticed, and you might have noticed, 70% of the time, 60% of the time is going in typing only, right? And it's not giving productivity as we expect. But that does not mean it is not copy pasted note from internet, guys. It's my own vocabulary, my own English. Simple English will be there, which I prepared for previous batches. I am going to use that notes, okay, wherever it is possible. Wherever not possible, anyhow, we'll back to original state. Okay, 1-2 days it takes time to adjust. It looks I'm going bit fast also, but nothing like that. We get a chance to see explanation multiple times. One time I'll explain like this. One more time I will read the notes in front of you. If any additional points are there, I will do it. First, accept the change. Change is inevitable. You have to accept the change. I know these online people will start shouting, "Sir, we are not getting the feeling of what? Regular class." Yes, you will get the feel if you focus. Right? It is for, because otherwise there were days which I have taken 8 to 9 months to complete this course. But now I'm streamlining everything, guys, without smuggling single line. No smuggling single line. Without smuggling single line, I want to complete in 4 to 5 months. It's for you because you are not here to do courses for lifetime, right, guys? You have other courses to do and you have jobs to do. For these people, nothing happened, marriage will happen, right? So no problem for them. But you people, until something happened, dog also won't look at you. Yes or no? Na? Okay. Especially that branded dogs will be there, na? They will be sitting in car third row and looking at you. I have a better life than you. Yes or no? Na? Okay. So that's why in a traffic signal, don't look at any luxury car third row. If you look at luxury car third row, one animal will look at you. What life you are living, man? Look at me. Esa no na. And after seeing that also, still you are not feeling shame, your karma. Okay. Array, in our life, every day inspirations are there. It's all about whether you are inspiring or not, or whether you are having thick brain and thick skin or not. That matters. Okay. What is our batch code, guys? 1102. What is this? Spring core. Right. Different types of injections. Yes, yes, yes. September 6th. Design patterns and what? This. Okay. Yesterday someone said that font problem is there. I think now it's there, guys. Still is there. Font is manageable. I think you people should come this side then. Oh, you have other TV? Okay, everywhere TV is there. Good. So I think I can increase bit more also, not a problem, because as I'm not typing it. Yeah, please listen. Whatever I explained, same thing will be there. Design patterns are bunch of rules that acts as best solutions for reoccurring problems of application development. Reoccurring means repeatedly occurring, right, guys? Design patterns are the best practices to use programming languages, technologies, frameworks effectively in application development. It's all about taking medicine with antibiotics. Super, guys. Design patterns are nowhere related to designing of the project, because some people create their own stories based on the terminologies used. Design pattern, oh, designing, project designing. Sorry, boss. It's nowhere related to, okay, designing. Project designing is a different ball game. These are purely related to coding, development. Then why they are called design pattern? You should not look at design separately, pattern separately. Pattern means certain repeatedly occurring matching, right, guys? See, guys, I'll say pattern. One killer is killing 10 people, but they will, same killer means one or other pattern will be there. Yes or no, na? Okay, thief is doing stealing in multiple houses. Same thief means some pattern will be matching now, boss. That means repeatedly occurring is called pattern, right? Designed for a pattern that is repeatedly occurring problem. Designed for a pattern called repeatedly occurring problem. That's why it is called what? Design pattern. Don't keep the word design separately. Don't keep the word design separately. Are you getting my point there or not? Super. Design patterns are nowhere related to designing of the project. They are purely related to, come on guys, coding of project. These are designed to solve reoccurring problems. Gang of four. Who are there? They have written one book, guys. Elements of reusable object-oriented software. These four people. Eric Gama, Richard Helm, Rolf Johnson, John Wisdels. These four people together is called Gang of Four. Still, this book is considered as best book for design patterns. But don't try to read that book, because it will be in programmer to programmer communication, not programmer to student. And more headache, he will give the code, but he will not give code in any language. He will give pseudo code. You know pseudo code? First day I have written JDBC code, na load driver class, establish connection. Like this, he will give the solution, boss. Like this, he will give the solution. You won't give code in what? Any language, but he feels that, they feels that by reading those pseudo lines, you can write code in any language. So that means maturity is required to understand that book. But other authors are there. Head First Design Pattern by Kathasira. She has written same book in Java, only for Java people. That means implementations of design patterns are there in what? Java. And that book is reading is like very interesting. If anyone already read, just recollect. Any book written by Kathasira is look like a comic story. In the childhood, you studied comic stories, na? Characters, images. It always looks interesting to go through further, right? And at first series, any book written by Kathasira look like a comic story. Lot of diagrams, lot of comic symbols, comic characters. Okay, so you'll start reading from one page and you will end up reading 100 pages. Okay, less content in each page, more priority to diagrams. So to make a learning process very easy. Head first Java is there. Head first SCJP book is there. Kathasira is a lady author boss. Okay. And she got a lot of patience, entire world patience she is having. Yes, she has designed every page very neatly and carefully to make reading as not a headache. If possible, read it. I think nowadays soft copy is also available. Kathasira, Kathe. Right. Eric Gama, Richard Helm, Ralph Johnson, John Wisdels, guys. Design patterns are not separate language or technology framework to learn, but they can be applied as best solution to solve all recurring problems of application development. Super, guys. The Ganga for design pattern can be implemented in any standalone application using OOP language like Java, C#, Python, C++. Okay, why C is not there? C is not a nearly 24 design patterns are given in what category? Some of them are singleton class, factory pattern, strategy pattern. Okay, our main target is strategy design pattern, boss, because we have to design Spring Beans by following strategy design pattern in order to develop them as the best Spring Beans. If you want to feel your Spring Beans as what? Best Spring Bean, you have to use which concept, guys? Strategy. Strategy means planning, right, guys? In IPL game, strategic timeout is there, na? That one. Abstract factory pattern, bridge pattern, decorator pattern, like this 23 are there. And mark my word, guys, without asking question about singleton class, your interview will not be completed. Minimum or maximum about singleton class you have to learn. Anyhow, in coming days, we will see, okay, how to develop our own singleton class. Don't worry about it. Okay, guys. Yeah, next what we got, guys? JEE patterns. Earlier, Java Enterprise Edition pattern. Now what is that? Jakarta Enterprise Edition. Since JEE module and its technologies are given to develop what? Web application, distributed application as layered application. What do you mean by layered application? I keep on telling that. Layered application is like a 4 BHK flat, boss. Everything is for every activity separate room, but all are integrated. Keeping different logics in different classes or files and making them talking with each other is called what? A layered application. Mr. Two people, black shirt and white shirt. Where are you busy, man? Those are near to bathroom doors. Where are you busy? Don't write. Already it is there. Can you write better than this? Then write. Focus. These JEE patterns are best solution for recurring problems of layered application. Standalone applications are, single layer applications are like bachelor room, boss. What room? Single room will be there. That only kitchen, that only bedroom, that only reading room, that only wardrobe, that only small playing cricket ground. Aisa no na. All are mixed up. Things are clumsy. You keep the hand deep down. Okay, you will get the item whatever you want. Because all are mixed up, right, guys? Don't look at the boys. Now girls' rooms also nowadays like that only. Generation gap, na? Okay. Earlier boys' room used to be like that. all mixed up. Okay. But now girls' rooms are becoming more dirty than boys' rooms. Am I right? Huh? Not like that? Okay, fine. Prove me wrong. But you know the fact. You and your inner soul know the fact, right? Okay. Yeah. Next one, guys. That is like a standalone application, single layer application. All are mixed up. They're only presentation logic, they're only business logic, they're only persistence logic, they're only integration logic. All are mixed up together, guys. Come on. No clean separation between logics. You modify one logic, other logic is affected. Okay, that's why I compared with what? Bachelor room. Dirty bachelor room, more clearly. Okay, other side was layered application is like 3 BHK flat, 4 BHK flat. For every activity, separate room. Bedroom, only sleeping will happen. Kitchen, only cooking will happen. Hall, only meetings will happen. Right, guys? Reading room separately, workout room separately, dining room separately. All are integrated again. That is called layered application. Yes or no? Na? Your life before job, standalone application. Your life after job, if you want. Oh, okay. Keeping different category logics in different classes or files, making them interacting with what? Each other is called layered application development. Standalone application is like bachelor room. Layered application is like 4 BHK flat. Ganga 4 patterns are basic pattern. JW patterns are what? Advanced patterns, boss. Okay, now tell me, guys. DAO, come on. Front controller, business delegate, all these comes under what, guys? JWE patterns. Next one, what is there? Microservice. Microservice services patterns. Microservices patterns. Microservice. Slowly picking up. From last 2-3 years, people are talking about these patterns a lot, guys. Given to address the problems of what is this? Microservice architecture based application development. Microservice architecture based application development. Okay, what is this microservice architecture? In remaining, all architecture says all services develop together, pack together, release together. Yes. Microservice architecture says every service is separate project. 10 services, 10 projects, later integrate. What's the advantage? What's the advantage? If one service is down, remaining services are still running. In our regular architecture, one service down, total services are down. That's one problem. Another problem. All services are together. That means all are tightly coupled or loosely coupled. All should be there in same language. That means if project is bigger project, if Java developers are not there, company needs to recruit more Java developers while developing bigger projects. Suppose I opted microservice architecture. Every service is a separate project and each project can be there in any language. That means 20 services. Few services I can develop through Java developer because Java people are free. No, after giving work to Java developer, Python people are looking idle. I can give few services to develop in Python. I can give few services to develop in what? C#. Later I can integrate the services. That is the beauty of microservice architecture. So here services are loosely coupled, tightly coupled. Micro means small. So every service is separate project and multiple services are developed as multiple project later integrated. That's another advantage. One more advantage I will tell. I have Flipkart.com a project in monolithic architecture. Someone liked only my searching algorithm, boss. Searching service. Because when I search, all items are coming so nicely. A new e-commerce website fellow, they want to put a lot of money only to collect such service. Can you send? You cannot send because it is integrated with other modules, other services, right, guys? Suppose if I develop such service as separate service in microservice architecture, I can give only such service to that fellow. I can make people using only such service without disturbing other services. Come on, my dear. Lot of loose coupling is there. That's why nowadays microservice architecture is picking up like anything. Picking up like anything, guys. All old projects now changing to what? Microservice architecture. I was dealing with one project, guys. In that one, 200 microservices are there in one project, and few of them are developed in Java, few of them are in Python, few of them are in what? .NET. And different teams are there managing those microservices, and later integration is done. Are you getting my point there? We'll discuss more on microservice architecture in the coming days. Today, you try to understand what is what. Sir, how best I can understand this normal architecture and microservice architecture? Normal architecture is nothing but monolith architecture. Whatever architecture that is there before arrival of microservice, monolith. Mono means single. Everything packed to single. Microservice, every service is identified and separated. Yes or no? Okay, monolith architecture is like parcel single meal. Parcel single meal. All are packed into single unit and delivered. Yes or no? Okay, next. Microservice architecture is like same meal but order from different restaurants. You found rice is good from X restaurant. Give an order there. So and so curry good in Y restaurant, give an order there. Biryani is ready good from what? Paradise, give an order there. But there also meal is prepared. But all best meals are prepared with best items, right, guys? But that day you don't have thought of eating any curry. You can cancel it. Yes or no? Both are meals, but here, if you order the meal, main item, sub item, supporting item, all come together. We cannot order individually, right, boss? But here, you have a freedom to order different item from different places. Some of the item you can develop on your own also. Is it not interesting, Rababu? Here, customized ordering. Here, package ordering, packaging and ordering, right, boss? Okay, that's for understanding. Yeah, what are the patterns we got? Saga pattern is there. Circuit breaker is there. What breaker? Circuit breaker is there. API gateway is there. API gateway and etc. API gateway and etc. These are what, guys? Microservice design patterns. Okay, guys. Gang of four patterns can be used along with what? JWE pattern. It's not like that. If you are using JWE pattern, you cannot use what? Gang of four pattern. JWE pattern and microservice patterns, guys. Okay, guys. In the implementation of one design pattern, we can take the support of what? Multiple other design pattern. In singleton class, I can take factory pattern. In factory pattern, I can take singleton. It depends, boss. And in the implementation of one design pattern, we can take the support of what? Other design pattern. And the problem generated by one design pattern will become solution of another design pattern. Anything is possible. That's what I'm trying to say. Only the thing is, you should address the problem and you should address that problem in a best manner. You should address that problem in a best manner. the best manner. Got it, guys? Understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Super. What is the difference between architecture and see, microservice architecture, MVC architecture, monolith architecture, right, guys? Then what is the difference between architecture and what? Design pattern. Focus, everyone. See, microservice applications are developed using microservice architecture. Monolith architecture, MVC architecture, also there, where everything will be packed into single jar file or var file, right, guys? Okay. Now listen carefully. Architecture says various components, their involvement, their interaction in end-to-end application development. What, guys? Various components, their involvement, their integration, their communication in end-to-end application development. For example, computer architecture, I said. There should be a CPU, there should be a motherboard, there should be a fan, there should be hard disk, there should be RAM, yes na? Keyboard, mouse, ports, a number of ports are required to accommodate all the thing. One cabinet is required, some drives are required, USB port is required. So all things together is called architecture, na boss. Okay, now listen. While preparing each component or while dealing with connection between component, some problems may occur. And the best solution for those problems are called design pattern. That means architecture talks about end-to-end application development, components development, their integration and interactions. Okay. And design pattern, while doing small operation in that process, problems will occur. To solve those problems, we apply best solution. Those best solutions are called what? Design pattern. I will tell, guys. Building architecture. How much depth we should dig? How much basement you should have? What is the pillar sizes? Okay. Roofing, ceiling, all together called as building architecture, right, guys? Fine. Okay, guys. In this process, while shifting the material from one floor to another floor, very difficult process, right? First 2 floors people can manage. 3rd floor onwards, it becomes very difficult, right, guys? That's why nowadays heavy cranes are coming now, boss. Heavy cranes are coming. Whenever big constructions are happening, you might have seen heavy cranes, boss. Using those heavy cranes, items will be lifted. Are you noticing it or not? Earlier, before arrival of cranes, what they have done? Manual lifting, and they used to have lot of money spending, lot of time wastage only to lift the material, right? But now things are happening very fastly, na boss. 100 kg item also it is going just like that in minutes. Yes or no, na? Okay, problem is lifting the material through labor, through staircases. Life danger, security issues are there, delay is there. And what is the solution? Using the high-end cranes. Using the high-end cranes to lift the item. That's the solution or not, guys? Next, one more problem, guys. Earlier, they used to do wall plastering manually by appointing one a worker kind of thing. Nowadays, machinery has come. You give the raw material to that machinery and machinery will do entire plastering on its own or not, guys? Come on, my dear. I want reply, guys. So the final conclusion from my side is architecture talks about end-to-end application development and talks about components, their involvement, their integration. In this process, okay, while developing some component or communication, problems will occur. To address those problems, we take the support of what? Design patterns. Are you getting my point? Tell me, inside the architecture, design patterns are involved. Inside the design pattern, architectures are involved. Inside the architecture, design patterns are involved. Architecture is the bigger thing, right, guys? Yeah. First of all, observe. A layer is a logical or physical separation having certain category logic. Presentation layer contains what? Presentation logic. Persistence layer contains what? Persistence logic, nothing but JDBC code, code operation. Okay, presentation logic means UI logic, guys. Beautiful presentations, guys. User interface logic. I hope you're understanding. Architecture gives end-to-end plan to design and develop application. While writing each section logic in certain architecture, based application development, we use a different design pattern to solve what? Reoccurring problem. I hope you understood. End-to-end plan is architecture. Okay, having layers. While writing each layer logic, some problems will occur. Addressing those problems, we use what? Design pattern. MVC is an architecture to develop what? Web application end-to-end. MVC, model, view, control. Model is one layer, view is one layer, controller is one layer. Okay. While writing model layer logics, we use business delegate, DAO, design pattern. I'm just giving, don't worry about that. While writing view layer logic, composite view, view helper, and etc. design pattern. Controller layer logic, we use what? Front controller, application controller, and etc. design pattern. Is that clear, my dear? I want reply, my dear. Got the point, my dear? I want reply, guys. Super. Model layer logic, we use business delegate DAO. View layer logic, composite view, view helper. Controller layer logic, we use what? Front controller, application controller, and etc. design pattern. Architecture uses design pattern in different modules or layers of the application development. Layered application means keeping different logics in different layers and making them participating in communication. With this, what we completed, guys? Introduction to design pattern. I hope you understood the meaning of design pattern, guys. You got the crystal clear clarity on design pattern, my dear. Can we ask few questions? Design pattern is a separate software to install, separate language, separate technology. Okay, now I am asking question. Can I implement Ganga for design pattern in any OOP language? JWE pattern in any OOP language? Nora worst fellows. JWE patterns. Java Enterprise Edition. Can I develop in any OOP language? JWE pattern must and should be implemented in Java. They are specific to Java because given by Sun Microsystem only by keeping what? JWE technologies. JWE technology. See? Nearly 20 plus design patterns are as JWE pattern. These patterns must be implemented in what? Java JWE environment. Okay. Can I implement microservice pattern in any language? Yes, sir. Because just now I said different architecture, different applications of microservice architecture can be there in different languages. Every service is separate project, na boss. All projects, all services should be there in same language. Not required. Okay, guys. Shall we have background preparation for factory pattern, boss? First design pattern that I am introducing is what? Factory pattern. First of all, tell me, when you look at the word factory, what your mind says? Factory. Factory, English meaning of factory. It's something that manufactures. Factory manufactures something or not. Factory creates something or not. Biscuit factory creates and biscuits. Car factory manufactures the car, right, guys? Oil factory Naresh Technology is a factory releasing software engineer, at least finished software engineer. I'm a finished product. I don't know, sir. That I'm leaving to your common sense, right? Okay. So factory means that creates and releases something to the market. But in software industry, factory means what, guys? In software industry, especially OOP languages, factory means the one that creates and releases the object. The one that creates and releases the object is called what? Factory. So far, what we have done, forget about IOC container. I'll come to IOC container later. Core Java. You should know how to create an object. In order to enjoy object of a class, some objects will be created using 0 param. Sometimes we use 1 param. Sometimes we use 2 param. What? Constructor, right? Sometimes we use another method on the class to get the object. I don't want to have this headache. Class says, I'm providing one method, call the method, get the object, and leave it to me how to create the object. So factory pattern says, you ask me object, I will give the object. Don't worry how I am creating object, that abstraction I am giving to you. Don't worry how I am creating object, that is abstraction I am providing. You go to car factory, ask car factory, give me car. They release the car and we take the car and we drive. Are we worried about how they manufacture the car? Tell me, my dear. We go to Maruti Suzuki factory, we book a car, we get a car, and we drive a car, and we enjoy the car. Are we worried about how they manufactured it? How they assembled it? How petrol is converted into kinetic energy? Are we bothered? That means car factory is providing abstraction on car creation. Same as biscuit factory. Same with oil factory. Same with student factory. No. Student factory, student need to feel the pain. Student need to feel the process, right? But student, forget about student, but the company people worries. Company people never worries, right? Company think that I go to college, I take an interview, I take a candidate, I give job to him. Is he bothered about how we got trained, how we got that knowledge? No. Yes or no? Na? So don't look at the student, look at the company. So company definitely enjoys abstraction given by college or Naresh Technology while taking the finished product or not, guys. So factory says, you ask me object, I give object. Don't worry how I'm creating object. My work is my basic rule is I have to provide abstraction on object creation. Got it, guys? Sir, I have related classes. Based on the data I supply, I should get one of the class object. One of the several related class object I should get. Factory pattern also says that. You ask me object, I will give the object. You give data, based on the data you pass, if related classes are there, I will pick up one class and I will create object and return object. If you don't pass data, whatever I have, I will create and return. If you pass the data, based on the data you pass, if classes are there in relationship, based on the data you pass, I will pick up one class and I will create and return the object. Are you getting my point? And your IOC container is factory, ra babu. You're asking get bin? This is bean ID, give me object. It's giving object or not? Is it not a factory? That's what is the first IOC container name? Bean factory. Factory to give spring bean. That's why it is named as what? That's why it is named as what? So IOC container is the best example for what? Factory design pattern. Okay, one more. I think everyone knows JDBC. Everyone. Connection con is equal to driver manager dot get connection URL database username password. Your calling method, connection object is coming. Are you worried how that connection object is created? New operator, static method, one param constructor, two param constructor. Are you really bothered? Moreover, that's a point number one. That means driver manager dot get connection is providing abstraction on connection object creation, boss. That's a one angle. Angle number two. If I pass Oracle URL, Oracle username, password, I am getting connection to Oracle. If I pass MySQL URL, MySQL username, password, I am getting connection to MySQL. If I pass PostgreSQL URL, username, password, I am getting connection to PostgreSQL. Here, second thing is also happening now, boss. What is that? It is returning one of the several related class object based on the data I pass. Yes or no? Na? All connection object classes are implementation class of connection interface, right? If I pass Oracle information in get connection method, I will get Oracle implementation class object. If I pass MySQL details in get connection method, I will get what? MySQL related implementation class object. Yes or no? Na? But I never referred by those classes, na sir. I always said connection can only, na sir. How it is possible? Simple theory. Superclass interface reference variable can refer its implementation class object or not. Driver manager dot get connection originally returns what? Oracle connection interface implementation class object, right? But is it compulsory I should refer with real class name or I can refer with interface reference variable? You know this core Java theory? Method is returning implementation class object of an interface. Should I compulsory refer with implementation class reference variable or I can manage with interface reference variable? Yes, na boss. Array, courier boy is delivering your item. You should only take a, your father also can take a. Because you are in relationship, right? Insurance amount is matured, guys. You are out of country. You should only take a, your father also can take a. That means superclass reference variable can refer subclass object. Interface reference variable can refer its implementation class object. If that implementation class object is coming as the return value of some method call, then I can refer with interface reference variable. I can refer the return value with interface reference variable or not. And exactly driver manager dot get connection, that only happening, boss. See, boss, in driver manager dot get connection, two things we can observe. Number one, are we worried about how it is creating connection object? Are we worried about it is giving Oracle connection object when I pass Oracle inputs? Yes. Are you observing or not? It is giving MySQL connection when I give MySQL inputs. That means based on the data we supply, it is giving the different object. And it is providing abstraction on connection object. So final conclusion on my side. Factory patterns gives abstraction on one of the several related class object based on the data we pass. You asked me object, I will give object. You don't worry what I am doing to get the object. No, you have several related classes. Time to time you want to change the object. You give me inputs, I will change the object. Entire headache is mine, not your responsibility. IOC container is factory pattern. But there you are passing BNID giving object. Simple factory pattern. Driver manager dot get connection is such a factory pattern where both properties are satisfied. It is providing abstraction on connection object creation and also giving what? One of the several related class object based on the data you pass. Yes or no? Na? Hey, not only that, guys. Statement st is equal to con dot create statement. That is also what? Factory only. Are we creating statement object? But we are getting statement object, na? Number one. Number two, if connection points to Oracle, statement also points to Oracle. If connection points to MySQL, return statement also points to MySQL. Here also two properties are satisfied. Yes or no? Na? In entire JDBC, we never create object using new operator, but we get the object. How? By calling the method. That means all the methods of JDBC are following factory pattern or not. That means, my dear dirty fellows, so far we are enjoying factory pattern, but we never felt it. Yes or no? Na? Except class dot for name. Last connection dot close. Leave this statement. You look at any other object that came in JDBC, it's based on factory pattern. At least now try to apply brain there. Results at RS is equal to st dot execute query. Any new operator? Any class name there? Calling method getting object. Aisa no na. Statement st con dot create statement. Calling method getting object. Driver manager dot get connection object. Calling method getting object. Come on, boss. Your entire JDBC objects are coming through factory pattern or not, guys? Sometimes we don't observe because we don't see a subject in that angle. If you observe very carefully, boss, as your programming skills are increasing in Java, most of the time we stop using new operator, or we don't get the chance to use new operator to create object. Look at JDBC programming. Very rarely we use new operator. Most of the time we call method, we get the object. Servlet programming, container only create the object. Spring programming, only to create container I am using new operator. Remaining all situation I am managing with what? Container or some factory methods, right, guys? You have to accept that change. I don't know how many of you observed or not. In core Java, new operator may be hero. But as days progresses, either container will take that work, server will take that work, or factory method comes into picture to complete our job. Very, very less time we use new operator, right, boss? Are you noticing it, guys? Mail. Check. Online students, are you there, guys? నాకు వచ్చింది బట్ ఇది కదా నరేష్ టెక్నాలజీస్ इसके पहले था अभी नहीं आ रहा बोल के बोला ఇప్పుడు సెట్ చేశారు ఒక్క నిమిషం లెట్ మీ చెక్ 7 PM batch which starts with Spring Boot and microservices. That's completely online. It's not possible offline. And 8:45 Java real-time project batch. And all people are eligible to come and join there. You can come and join there. Okay, 1 minute. Spring here. What's your batch? No, not your batch code. 901 Cloud MS. This. Can I transfer to that batch? Huh? Your life will not end. Na? Always transfer. Did you transfer to next year of engineering? Huh? You joined in first year. You missed a few classes in first year. Did you change to new joining of next year? Or you managed to cope up with the subject? Then why are you not applying same theory, dirty fellows? Okay. Fine. DevSecApp also we are planning, boss. Very soon we will give the plan. Very soon we will give the plans. Okay. I think you got the basic idea about the factory pattern. You just enjoy driver manager dot get connection. Every theory is there. Are we using new operator to create connection object? That means that method is internally doing something to create object. That means we are enjoying the abstraction. Abstraction means hiding the details, right? Point number 1 to be noted. Point number two. Point number two. Are we getting same connection object always, or based on the inputs we pass, it is changing the connection? Based on the inputs we pass, it is changing the connection, right? Oracle details, connection object pointing to Oracle. MySQL details, connection object pointing to MySQL. So final conclusion is what? Factory pattern says, I will give one of the several related class object based on the data you supply. That means I am providing abstraction on object creation. You ask me object, I will give object, but you don't worry how I am creating object. You name the topic, I deliver the topic, but you don't ask me how I gain the knowledge. Aisa no na? Super. You ask your father, I need an amount for so and so book, so and so fees. He will supply, but don't ask me how I arrange. That is none of your business. He says or not this. If you ask a mother, Arey Babu, we are so poor. Recently that expenditure, this expenditure, she will tell Mahabharata Ramayana to you, right? But you ask the same question to father. How much beta? This much. Give me 1 week time, I will arrange. What he will do, no one knows, but he will arrange this, right? Aisa no na? So the father, lot of abstraction on income, money arrangement. With mother, lot of openness with money arrangement. Though she fails to arrange, lot of openness will be there. Father fails, he will tell, give me another 1 week, I will arrange. If mother fails to arrange, she will tell, I tried that, I tried this, but could not happen. Aisa no na? But both intention is to supply you only. Baap hota hai ya? Okay. Are you expecting father should become mother? Worst fellow. Okay. I am also staying in India. Why my Hindi should be bad? Huh? Why my Hindi should be bad? What is your expectation, my dear? Hindi should be bad. What expectations you got? Fine. Yes, we South Indian, we know Hindi, we speak Hindi, but it's not our primary language. That's it. And moreover, specialty of Hyderabad Hindi, right? Right. Okay. We use those words in Hindi which are not there in Hindi. Nakko, Kaiku, School. Aisa no na? Fine. Okay, super. Shall we get into the discussions, guys? This pattern provides abstraction while creating and returning one of the several related class objects based on the data that is passed. To make several classes as related classes, we need to see them implementing common interface or common superclass. Aisa no, boss? How to keep several classes as related classes? How your siblings are related people? Because you all are having common father, right? How you all are related because you are having common teacher. How another student of another batch is common in Naresh IT because you all are having a common institute, right, boss? You and your super senior will have some soft corner because you all belongs to same college. One or other link will be there or not there. When you go outside India, one Indian looks at other Indian very nicely because we are having commonness India. Within India we fight, that's a different. Aisa no na? Within India we fight, but when you go outside India, he looks like a oasis in what? Thar desert. Okay, that's why softness will come automatically. Are you getting my point, guys? Super. To make several classes as related classes, we need to see them implementing either common interface or what? Extending from common superclass, concrete class or abstract class. Car factory creates and return car object based on the model name we pass by providing abstraction on what? Car object creation. Connection con is equal to driver manager dot get connection. Provides abstraction on what, guys? Creating and returning JDBC connection object for certain database software based on the URL, username, password details we pass. Whatever I have explained, exactly same thing is there or not there. Super, guys. If we pass URL, user, password details with respect to Oracle DB, then it returns connection object pointing to Oracle. MySQL DB, it returns connection object pointing to. Are you getting my point there? Every factory pattern internally uses one public static factory method. Not mandatory, but generally, boss. One public static factory method having logic of factory pattern, nothing but creating and returning one of the several related class object based on the data that is passed. The factory class internally maintains public method, static method, okay, factory method, public static factory method having logic of factory pattern. So driver manager dot get connection. Get connection is a public method. That's why I'm able to call on the class name. Static method because it is on the class. And what it returns, guys? Connection object. That's why it's a factory method now, boss. Inside that method, what logic is there? Factory logic. Factory pattern logic is there. What it says? I create and return connection object. You don't worry how I am creating it. Right, boss? Not compulsory, boss. Factory class should have a static factory method. Sometime it can have a non-static factory method also. Because con dot create statement. Create statement is non-factory. Non-static method or not. Get bean method of CTX. What is that? Non-static method or not, guys? So factory method need not to be static. But if it is static, what's the good part, you know? Without creating other object, yes, na boss. Static factory method is best because without creating other object, we can call the method, we can get the required object, right, boss? But if they give as non-static method, no problem. First we create other object. On that we call this object to get our required object. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Every factory pattern internally uses public static factory method having logic of factory pattern based on the data that is passed. Nothing but creating and returning one of the several related class object based on the data that is passed. Is that clear, guys? Come on. Any method that creates and returns the object is called factory method. If that method is static, then it is called as what? Static factory method. If that method is non-static, that is called what? Non-static factory method. Is that clear, boss? Con dot create statement, non-static factory method. St dot execute query, non-static factory method. Come on, guys. CTX dot get bin, non-static factory method. Driver manager dot get connection, static factory method. Are you understanding my statement, boss? Super. Okay, guys. Okay. So example on factory method we will discuss in next class. Okay, now let me give your now onwards you will be identified with this name, Java real time, not that. 21/3/2024, no. 16/08/2024. Yeah, this is this one, guys. I created two folders. One is introduction, one is Spring Core. Introduction, let me upload all the notes, guys.